The time is now, episode 301. Entrepreneurship, as I often say, is also a spiritual journey. It is amazing how much we grow and transform and how much our businesses push us to stretch outside our comfort zone. And I'm so excited to kick off this new journey with you in this episode. Welcome to The Time Is Now. This is the podcast show designed to take action and stay on top of your game to make a bigger impact in the world with your business while creating more freedom and purpose in your life. This is your host, Emel Deregi. As your business and marketing coach, I am here to help you get the clarity and the action plan you need to position yourself as the go-to expert in your field and scale your business without overwhelm. This is your time to create more growth, alignment, and impact with your business. I am beyond excited to kick off this journey with you. If this is your first episode listening in this podcast show, welcome to you, because we are starting a new journey indeed within this community, and I can't wait to welcome you. But I want to also address all of you who have been listening to this podcast show for a long time. Thank you so much for having been part of my journey. To all of you who have been listening for the past 8 years and over 300 episodes now, I am beyond touched and grateful for the amazing adventure you've been on. You might know now that the previous episodes were named under a different name, and this episode is officially the first episode where we start under the new brand name of this podcast. The Time Is Now. In the previous episodes, I have been explaining the process and why I made this huge decision to change the name of my podcast after 8 years and 300 episodes. I have made this bold move that was really not easy, but it was about time, literally. I've known already a couple years ago that this will happen. But it's been a year in the making since I had made the decision to do it. And if you have not listened to the previous episodes, episode number 299 and 300, I share with you the behind the scenes of why I decided to make this big change. So if you're interested, don't hesitate to check it out. But today I want to focus on the future and what is it for you. What is this podcast about, and how will you benefit from it? How will it play a role in your journey? And what is my big vision behind it to support you in this extraordinary journey that hopefully you're hopping on to make a bigger impact with your business while creating more freedom and purpose in your life? As I said, I will not go through all the elements of what made this decision, but for the sake of all of you who might have just hopped on the journey, a little bit of a summary of a background might help you know where we were, where we're coming from, and where we're going. So I have started Tandem Nomads, the initial name of this podcast, 8 years ago with the purpose of helping expat spouses turn their career challenges on the move into a successful portable business. And then in 2020, the pandemic came and everything has shifted. I've started first by helping my clients make sure to take on their business and pivot their businesses so that they can adapt to what was happening in the world. But what I've seen is a huge influx of new clients who had nothing to do with expat life and living on the move, who were really looking at how to live a more meaningful life and how to make sure that they create a job that helps them make an impact while creating more revenue, but also more freedom and flexibility in their life. So this is the big reason behind the big shift, is that my clientele and my audience has evolved through the time, and I've been very blessed to be able to work with so many interesting people around the world throughout the time, But I have to say that one thing that's common to all my clients is that they're globally minded, focused on impact, and incredibly ambitious on the way they want to lead their lives and their businesses. But while being ambitious, the goal is to grow and to break the glass ceiling without breaking yourself. In fact, avoiding burnout and most importantly, thriving in our lives and our careers while making an impact in the world is what brings us together. If you've been listening to this podcast for a long time, you might remember how many episodes I've been doing around the topic of burnout. A lot of people have been burning out from their jobs and decided to quit their jobs to start their businesses. And that's how I ended up attracting more and more leaders and experts in their fields who are ready to start their journey as entrepreneurs and quit their corporate jobs. However, what is the point of starting a business if your business drives you to burning out? So my biggest goal with my clients is to make sure that as they really focus on their ambitions and scale their business, that they do it without overwhelm. As I often say, make your business work for you and not the other way around. So today I continue to work with expat partners who are willing to build a successful portable business that's aligned with their lifestyles. I also work with leaders who are on the process of quitting their jobs or have just quit their jobs to start their businesses. But also, the third category of clients that come to me are the entrepreneurs who already have a business but feel scattered, feel overwhelmed, feel all over the place. And although their businesses are growing, they are struggling to keep up. And this is a dangerous place to be. So very often people who come to me are really ready to scale, but they want to do it mindfully and meaningfully. And that's why we talk about how to align our businesses and our strategies with our needs and our priorities. And this is for me one of the central pieces of what I'm focused on with my clients and what I want to do for you here through this podcast. But also, another thing has developed in the past years that has led me to this big change, which is all the disruptions that happen in our world, being in the economical field, the social field, and that has led me to question, what can I do to help build a better world? How can I use my own zone of genius to make a bigger impact? And I realized my own clients are so focused on impact. We want to grow our revenue. We want to have a high quality of life. We want to be able to have more freedom. But we also want to do something meaningful that actually makes a difference in the world, especially in the times where we're recording this episode with all the wars that have been breaking through in the past couple of years and all the disruptions and the recession that has been also something that has impacted a lot of people. So while we work on our businesses and we don't give up on our goals and our ambitions, those of you who are here, I know, care about making a difference in the world. And this has also impacted the way I do business. I've been in the past couple of years doing more and more work with organizations that are focused on sustainability, on social impact. So I wanted also this podcast to represent this kind of work that I think is really important for all of us, as well as for me. I wanted to have the freedom to bring on topics that are beyond just marketing strategies, but also topics that are related to how to make a bigger impact for the people we serve, for our world, as well as entrepreneurs, how we can contribute, how we can use our power, our privilege, and our special gifts to actually make a difference in this world. But also do our businesses in a more mindful way, starting with inclusion, with sustainable solutions. But while I have to say, at the time when I'm recording this episode again, the world is not doing well. For sure not. However, I always believed, and I continue to believe, that it is in the midst of crisis that we know what we are made of. And this is the time to actually show up and to show up to make a difference, but also to grow. And that's the other thing I wanted to tell you, is that while things are not going well, especially with the recession and all the wars that are going on that are breaking my heart right now, I am also very excited about what is to come. If we look historically, every big innovations and big changes in the world that led to thriving economies have been seeded during a crisis. So I want to invite you during the time to pay attention to what's going on in the back end of all the midst of this turbulences. Pay attention. Pay attention to many things, including innovation and technology for small business owners and entrepreneurs, as well for organizations who want to make an impact. And the first area where I think we really have to pay a close attention is around the topic of artificial intelligence. We cannot close our eyes on this, and I hope that you're already starting to use some of these tools. However, I am quite and well aware that with artificial intelligence comes a series of challenges, including the learning curve, but that's something I'm not too worried of. Eventually, if you care about it, if you put yourself into it, you will get at the other side of that learning curve. And to be honest, I'm going through it as well myself right now, realizing how much I need to train my own machines to be able to get the results that I want. However, as much as I'm excited about artificial intelligence, I also know that we're going to have to be very mindful about how is this technology going to be used moving forward in terms of the protection of identities, the protection of people's IPs and trademarks. So all of that is going to be something that I think as entrepreneurs we should be excited about while being very mindful about and educate ourselves about. So I will be paying close attention to this topic in this podcast as well to support you in your journey as an entrepreneur. And although I'm not an expert in the field, I'll make sure to bring as many experts as I can to provide you with the resources and inspiration. But I'm also here to encourage you to open your mind to innovation, to open your mind and your mindset to the fact that as an entrepreneur, if you really see yourself as an entrepreneur, even as a self-employed or solo entrepreneur, it is so important to take this topic seriously. The second area where I'm very excited, and I've seen some many amazing shifts in the past year, and I think now we can't even be blind about it, is all the topics around financial wealth. And although we're in a crisis, I do think that this is the time to start looking at our money and how we manage our money. And for me, the topic of financial empowerment for women especially and young people is another direction that I think we have to pay attention to as entrepreneurs. As entrepreneurs, we're used to work to make our buck, if I may say it this way. But ultimately, while I often say make your business work for you and not the other way around, I do believe that when we embrace financial empowerment, we start making our money work for us and not the other way around. You don't want to work for your money, you want your money to work for you. So that's another area, another pillar that I want to be more focused on. And again, as much as I'm not an expert in the field, I think that that's one of those elements as an entrepreneur that we need to be really, really focused on if we want to grow our business in a meaningful way. And make sure that the money we make is actually invested in the right place for your growth, for your freedom, as well as the impact you want to make. Sustainable financing is another big topic that's coming up in the coming years. So if you want to be at the forefront of all of this, pay close attention and let's do it together. And the other topic that, of course, I cannot miss is the topic of sustainability that for me is very close to my heart. We cannot ignore the fact that global warming is here, but also the level of division that's happening in our world is just mind-blowing. And I think we have a role to play as entrepreneurs in there. So I want to bring those topics to you. on top of all the other topics I've so far brought to you in this podcast, related to how to grow a business, marketing strategies for more visibility to set yourself as the go-to expert, how to sell authentically, how to create more consistency in your business. These are all topics that are well in my range of expertise that I continue and will continue to talk about and bring to you through this podcast. But I do think that it's time now to look beyond the nitty-gritty of how to run your business behind your computer. Through this podcast, I want to invite you to focus on a bigger vision, to think big for yourself, for your own joy and happiness and wealth, but also to think about how you can play a role in this world through your business. As small as it is, you can still make a big impact. And therefore, through the time is now, there are 3 big pillars that I want to introduce you to. The first one is growth. Through this podcast, I want to help you step into your full power to become the go-to expert in your field and grow your visibility without shying away from the spotlight. But also, I want to help you build a meaningful business that provides you with continuous revenue growth, freedom, and fulfillment. And for that, you will also need to grow outside of your comfort zone. The time is now to grow and to live up to your full potential. The second pillar is alignment. To align your business model, your marketing strategies, your processes with who you are, your values, your lifestyle, and your needs, so that you can reach ambitious goals without sacrificing your well-being. Alignment is at the core of making sure to reach your ambitious goal while not sacrificing your well-being. While I started my journey Tandem Nomads helping people build a portable business and a portable business model so that they can live on the move, today I continue to do the same thing. The only difference is that I'm helping my clients build a business that's aligned with their lifestyle, no matter if they live on the move or not. And this is why I'm so passionate about helping you make sure that you reflect on what is it that you truly want? What is it, that ideal lifestyle that you want to build, so that you can make sure that your business is fitting to that big vision that you have? And I think alignment is also a wonderful way to make sure that we're doing business authentically. And there's a fine line between saying I want to be authentic and being afraid from the spotlight. And this is why I really combine growth and alignment together, while I make sure that you are creating the strategies to be able to grow your revenue and grow outside your comfort zone. There's a fine line between growing from your comfort zone and stretching yourself so far because you're disaligned and then break. So as I said, the goal is to break the glass ceiling without breaking yourself. And that requires for you to really be committed through the process, but also being committed to aligning your business with how you want to live your life, but also the impact that you want to make. Which brings me to the third pillar, which is impact. So I'm talking about the social impact of your business, but also the impact you make for your clients and the people you serve through your business, as well as the impact that the business has on you and your own growth. So through the impact pillar, I want to help you scale your level of impact to make a real difference, to leverage your know-how to share your message with the world and create the change you want to see in your community and your industries. And that is where having really solid strategies and effective structure and processes in your business that are in place will make a big difference. Because if you want to scale your business and your level of impact, you won't be able to do it on the 24 hours that you have per day. The idea is, how can you scale without having to stretch yourself too thin? How can you build into your business automations, grow a team, and create a structure and processes that help you to do more work without having to work more? So that's also what impact is about being smart about how you do business so that you can scale the level of impact, scale the number of people you touch and you reach, scale the revenue you can make in your business to have more freedom without having to stretch yourself too thin. That's also where your business model will be essential. Making sure that you have a business model that allows you to grow your revenue, to grow your level of impact, without having to work more for it. So these are the 3 pillars of the time is now: growth, alignment, and impact. And if you notice, they are very intertwined with each other and they complete each other in terms of how to make a bigger impact with your business while creating more freedom and purpose in your life. In the time is now, there are also 3 different paths, and you might be in one of them. The first one is the explorer path, the second one is the cultivator path, and the third one is the visionary path. So depending on where you are on your journey, you might be in a different path, and according to each path, I guide you differently along this line. So if you're interested in knowing in which path you are, but most importantly, what should you do next according to where you are in that journey, then I invite you to take my quiz, the Time Is Now quiz. And to be able to find it, you go to thetimeisnow.biz/301. So I explained to you the big pillars behind the time is now and the direction where we're going. One thing that I would like to share with you that is not yet completely sealed, because I feel like it's a wonderful project to work on together. So here's one thing that I noticed in the past couple of years, especially since the pandemic. A lot of the things that have worked before on online businesses don't work very well nowadays, especially in terms of strategies and how to connect with our audiences and maintain a relationship with our community. I've always been so focused on making sure that everything I do is centered around building a strong community. Because I believe that without a community, we cannot succeed as entrepreneurs. I've seen in my own journey, if it wasn't for all the people around me, I would have never been able to be where I am today. And this is also what I try to provide to my clients and my audience of this podcast, a place where they can grow and thrive with other like-minded people. So one of my projects through the upcoming episodes and this journey together is to figure out how we can do community better, how we can create a community online and globally and virtually in a meaningful way where we have less content but more connection. So if you're interested in being part of such a community, I would be so excited to start this journey with you, but also to have your input and figure out how we can do it better. So if you're listening and interested, I would love you to take my survey. As you show your interest to be part of a community, I will at the same time ask you to share with me your insights on your needs and how do you see yourself in a community. What are the things you're looking for and what are the things you want to provide in a community? So I would love it if you could fill out the survey in the show notes of this episode. I will link it there. If you could fill out the survey, let me know what are your thoughts on the topic. Hopefully you will listen to this episode by the time the survey is still on, but I would love it if you could just share your feedback with me. And depending on the answers of everybody, I will be reaching out to all of you and organizing probably a Zoom meeting where we come together and make some decisions on how we can do this together next. So co-creation or collaboration is definitely also the next direction where I'm going, where I feel like I don't want to be the only one providing the solutions, but I want us to discuss and exchange more because I know that you have as well so much knowledge, so much experience that you can bring to the table by joining the Time Is Now community to create more growth, alignment, and impact together. I can't wait to see what is in the store for us and to continue this journey together and to continue to support you in your journey. So as a final word before I say goodbye, I want to share with you my manifesto, the manifesto behind The Time Is Now, and hopefully what will be our manifesto together as a community. The time is now to take action. One of the things that I love about the word entrepreneurship is that in French, it means taking action, taking things into matter. And with the way things are going in this world, we all need to take action. We can't stay passive. But also the time is now for you to take action and live up to your full potential. My true passion through entrepreneurship is to help every amazing individual out there who has a special gift to live up to that gift and to live up to that gift to make an impact. The time is now to make an impact. The time is now for you to use your special gift, your passions, and what you've learned along the way to contribute positively, not only to your industry, to your clients and your community, but also to this world. In the midst of all the turmoils and the difficulties of entrepreneurship, but as well as the state of our world, the time is now to also build resilience. Entrepreneurship is a long journey that is never linear, and it comes with many highs and lows. To make it through, we first need to be very clear about our big why and be committed to it. To keep going, we need to look at the challenges as opportunities to grow outside of our comfort zone and make a difference. The key for me to build resilience is also to celebrate and have fun, create moments to celebrate each milestone, even the smallest one. So the time is now to also spread joy. It is so important that we figure out what is it that provides us joy in the day-to-day life of entrepreneurship, as well as the impact we want to make, but also how we define fun for us and how we can infuse fun in everything we do, as well as spreading that positive energy around us is so important to live our life to its fullest. And the time is now to live our lives with more freedom. Having a business that is aligned with your lifestyle and your needs allows you to create your own source of financial freedom and fulfillment without sacrificing your well-being. When you build a business that works for you, not the other way around, you can finally have the freedom to travel, spend quality time with your loved ones, practice your hobbies, develop other projects that matter to you, and simply be who you truly are. Aligning your needs, your values, your identity, and your business is what will allow you to create more freedom in your life. The time is now for you to make it happen. So make sure to check in my quiz on the show notes of this episode and to fill out my questionnaire to join the Time Is Now community. Go to thetimeisnow.biz/301 and you will find all the information right there. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here with me today. And I can't wait to continue this journey with you. I hope you found some inspiration today to continue this journey. And I'll see you in the next episode. And I'll let you with this final word. The time is now for you to turn your challenges into great opportunities to create more growth, alignment, and impact.